What a time to be alive. This is good. This is a good show. Okay. That's it. The audience is done. I'm tired. Okay, gang, I was in the back. I was like, I can eat as much food as I want before I go on stage. Not going to affect me. And then I ate an order of wings, an order of fries, and a burger. And now it has affected me in a big way. I am very tired. I've also had 7 beers. Thank you all. Someone gasped. And you should. Most of my uncles are dead from alcoholism. I'd start. My dad says he's not an alcoholic. You ever hear your dad say that? My dad says that all the time. He goes, I'm not an alcoholic, Tim. I drink Miller 64s. That's what he says to me. And I go, what does that even mean? And he's like, Miller 64s. They're 3-2 beers. And I was like, what is that? He goes, because of the alcohol volume, for every 3, you're only drinking 2. So I'm not an alcoholic. I was like, well, you've had 12. That's 8 beers. You know? But it makes sense that my dad likes 3-2 beers. It makes sense because he had 6 brothers, and now he has 4 brothers. So for every 3 brothers he had, he now only has 2, right? Yeah, he doesn't like that joke either. I was back in Indianapolis, and he goes, I don't know. Oh, cool. Wow. He goes, that's hurtful. That's what he said about the joke. That would have gotten a little more of a laugh if people didn't go wild for Indianapolis. Is someone from Indy?
Yeah.
Hannah? I knew she was here. I said, Hannah's going to be here tonight. I told myself. Well, that's good. What part of Indianapolis are you from, Hannah?
No, Indiana, 2 hours north of Warsaw.
You're from Warsaw. I almost got stabbed in a bar in Warsaw, Indiana. Little fun fact about me. Here's the thing. You know what hillbillies don't like? When they bump into you at a bar, and they go, watch yourself. Oh, shit, fuck yes. No, So you're from Warsaw, Indiana. This happened to me in Warsaw. First of all, I saw the Yin Yang Twins perform in Warsaw, Indiana at a bar about this size, and they opened and closed with the Whisper song, so that was pretty cool. But I also got shoulder checked by a guy. He looked a lot like you, bald, Nazi-ish. And he shoulder checked me. And he goes, hey man, watch where you're fucking going. And I go, don't talk to me like that. I went to jail for 11 hours one time. Tough guys who have been to prison for meth do not like when you brag about going to jail for 11 hours. He goes, 11 hours? He goes, I'll stab you right now and go to jail for 5 fucking years. I go, okay, let's calm down. So Warsaw, Indiana, did you or any of your family work in the prosthetics industry?
Yes.
What? No and yes, all right. So it sounds like some did and some did not. My buddy used to work for biotech. That's why I used to go up there all the time. Warsaw, Indiana, a lot of people don't know, is one of the top prosthetic producers in America and the world. So I know you guys came here to laugh, but we also came here to learn. So, oh, Jesus Christ. I almost tripped. This is a good time. And I'll tell you this, there's a town right by Warsaw called Elkhart, Indiana. Are you from Elkhart? So you know this. What is up with this place? What is up with the attendance from northern Indiana? All right, so tell me if I'm wrong. First of all, chew and then swallow. But Elkhart, Indiana, the #1 producer of RVs and mobile homes in America. Am I correct? Meth? No. That is not true. Dayton, Ohio takes that. Right. Are you guys from Dayton? What a fucking shithole. Dayton sucks my fucking ass, bro. I'm almost got fucking beat up by a bunch of lesbians at a fucking show in Ohio. What lesbians don't like? When you call them cunts. And didn't work out for me well. But you know, Elkhart, Indiana, they make a bunch of RVs and stuff. And tell everyone I am right. Thank you very much. He said yes if you're in the back. And who is the #1 seller of these RVs, sir? If you could tell me into the microphone. No, it will be Tom Raper RV, one of the worst possible names you could have for selling mobile homes. So that's just a little fun fact. Okay, that's the Indiana section of the show. Anybody else from Indiana? We'll keep it going. I am, but here's the thing. Do you perform stand-up comedy here on the East Coast? No? Here's what happens, though. When you're from Indiana sometimes, you'll go on stage. I live in New York, and I'll go on stage, and I'll be like, I'm from Indiana. And people will be like, boo! You don't get the love you get here in Washington, D.C. when Hannah and Robert are in the audience. So normally people boo you. I get booed all the time. This woman booed me, and I was like, where are you from? She goes, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I was like, oh cool, you're from Indiana with a mountain. I've been around this country. I've seen almost all of it. This country is 9 cities, and the rest of it's Indiana. It's all Indiana. You guys ever been to Arizona? No? You been there? It fucking sucks. It's Sand, Indiana. My girlfriend's from there. She's like, it's not Sand, Indiana. I'm like, you have done cocaine with your dad. What's more Indiana than that? Doing meth with your mom. That's Indiana. Whatever loses more teeth. People are like, your girlfriend's white trash too? I'm like, no, just Jewish. And it's sick. She makes a lot of money, and I love it because I make no money, and she pays 2/3 of the rent. I don't know if you guys have failed upwards, but goddamn, I trapped a woman. It is so fucking cool. My girlfriend, when we went on our first date, she goes, you know, I'm just done with men. And I was like, let's fucking go. That is the sickest thing you could have ever said to me. I was like, she's done? I'm in, baby. I'm in. I have herpes now because of her, which is cool. And so we were fucking raw dog for like a whole year. For a whole year we were banging. And not all the time because I can't get it up that much. But I live by McDonald's. I get McDonald's breakfast every day. I can't get hard very much anymore. And I'm going to continue doing this until my girlfriend breaks up with me. And then I'm going to sue McDonald's, make a bunch of money, also make them make me the new Ronald McDonald. That's the new goal. I think that got sadder than it was funny. People are like, your girlfriend needs hers. No. No, she doesn't. We need this settlement money from McDonald's. What was I talking about? Herpes, yes. So I have herpes, which is pretty sick, because she was like, she goes, Tim, will you sit down? I have something to tell you. And I go, okay. She goes, I have herpes. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. She goes, I thought you were going to be pissed. I was like, no. You make 6 figures. I'm in now. We are us now. This is us. It's our herpes. That one was new-ish. And by new-ish, the herpes are 5 years old, but the joke is about 6 months old. All right. She doesn't like when I tell people that she has herpes. She's like, don't be going around telling people that I have herpes. And I was like, well, you didn't tell anybody. Well, I gotta fucking say something. I go, what if one of the audience members wants to fuck you, raw dog? They need to know. And I'll let them. I'll watch. I'll sit there and watch my Ronald McDonald makeup. Next time, I have gone insane. This set is bad. I opened with the thing about my dead uncles. What am I doing? Well, if we're going wild, let's just do it. I remember where I was on 9/11, you know? We're going to have a nice time. Let's just have a good time. I was in high school. I was a freshman in high school. And I was a freshman in high school in Indiana. And news travels slow in Indiana. So I remember I was in the hallway, And I was walking in the hallway, there was a big scuttlebutt at my Catholic school. I went to Catholic school with like 100 total people. So there was a big scuttlebutt in the hallway. I get into religion class, and I go, Mr. Doyle, something is happening. We've got to turn on the TV. And he goes, Mr. McLaughlin, you're not tricking me into watching Price is Right again. This is September 11th. We have been in school for 2 weeks, and I had already Boy Who Cried 9/11'd him. I'd already made up a situation where I needed to turn on the TV, and he wouldn't do it. Later in the year, he choked me against the wall. With his bare hands, he grabbed me by the neck and choked me against the wall. I mean, it was my fault. You know, I'm a good victim. So I was like, what he would do is he would sit me next to the light, and we didn't have any windows in our room, so I would just turn the light off, and then everyone would scream. And instead of moving me or talking to me, he choked me against the wall, right? And I was doing this joke in Indy, and my mom heard me telling the story, and she goes, you got choked? We could have sued the Catholic Church. And I was like, I don't think they pay out unless he comes. Yeah, pretty good. Yep. One dude is just like, this guy rules. What was a good joke? I come fast. I like to do that. I hate having sex. Sex is exercise. I'm never trying to exercise. I'm trying to get in, get out, go back to watching BattleBots. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying. I hate exercise. My girlfriend's like, loves dirty talk, you know, and she's always like, say something to me. And I'm like, I'm done. And she's like, no, something dirty. I was like, no, I gotta go clean up. I'm done. So we were having sex recently, and I was dirty talking because I was lasting a little longer than usual. I was putting in the work, you know. I hadn't had McDonald's breakfast for like a week, so I'm putting in the work. I was like, you got such a tight little pussy or whatever, you know. You gotta compliment women. And she wasn't really saying much. I don't know if she wanted to be there, but she started getting into it, and she was like, yeah. Give me that little dick. And I was like, what the fuck? She's like, I don't know, I was following your lead. I was like, you go opposite. I say small and tight, you say, ow, it doesn't fit or whatever. And then she grabbed my hair and just kind of pulled it, and a bunch came out in her hand. And I was like, fuck this, I'm done. I'd already come, but I was done in it. Oh. All right. Sweating. I used to manage a bowling alley and a bar. I know all you guys are looking at me like, oh yeah. I just kind of walked into the bowling alley and they were like, hey, you want to manage this place? And that is what happened. I walked in and they were like, hey, do you need a job here? And I was like, yeah, that would be pretty sick. But managing a bar sucks. It sucks big dicks because people are assholes. Not you guys. You guys are cool. But everyone else in the world sucks. Everyone besides this room specifically. Because people, what happens, I managed a bar and bowling alley in Williamsburg, and it's a bunch of young kids, like not kids, but they're like 21 or whatever, and they take photos of their ID with their phone, and then they try to use that to get into the bar, and we don't accept that as a valid form of identification, and I would get in a fight about that every day, all day long. And I would always be fighting, and one day, this girl, I was told she couldn't come in, and she goes, you from the Midwest, rule follower? My shirt said Indiana, and I was like, yes. She was like, Midwest people love following the rules. I was like, okay. And then she said the most 22-year-old thing I've ever heard someone say in my life. She goes, you know, if you took a couple of mushrooms, you probably wouldn't follow the rules so much. And I was like, listen, I've taken mushrooms hundreds of times. For 2 years, I microdosed every day thinking it would fix my life. It did not. I've taken doses of mushrooms that people have found concerning. And I've had one realization every single time I'm on mushrooms. And it's that I should have my ID on me at all times. Because think about it. This is what I'm telling her. I'm like, think. You got to use your head. We live in New York City. There could be a crazy person with a big metal pipe just walking down the street. All of a sudden, he just starts bashing your face in, breaks all your teeth. They can't identify you at all because he also broke your phone. I go, is that what you want? Is that what you want to be a Jane Doe? You want to be a Jane Doe? You want to have your body thrown in a ditch with prostitutes? Is that what you fucking want? And she was like, what the fuck? I was like, I get paid less than $20,000 a year to work here. I don't give a fuck about this job at all. I'll kill myself right now. And she was like, we will leave. And I was like, thank you very much. And my friend goes, what the fuck was that, man? And I was like, that's called customer service. That's what that is. I had to tell my GM, I was like, we may be getting a bad review very soon. He goes, no, it's fine, you can do that. But I had to quit working at the bowling alley because my girlfriend made me quit because I was getting electrocuted too much. So I don't know, you guys are looking at me, you're like, yeah, they take the boy out of Indiana, but they can't take the electrocuted at the bowling alley out of the boy. I was fucking always getting electrocuted, which really sucked, and I went to the doctor, I got an EKG on my heart, and he was like, did you have a heart attack recently? And I go, well, I've been getting electrocuted at the bowling alley a lot. And he goes, that might be it. You have to get an ultrasound. So I had to get an ultrasound on my heart, and I'm getting an ultrasound on my heart, and I was like, here's the thing. My ultrasound tech looked like she was having a bad day. So I'm like, I'm going to crack this lady up, be real funny. Because it was like 7 p.m. at night. She looked like she'd been having a hard day. I was like, I'm funny. I'm going to say something funny. So I'm wiping off the ultrasound shit at the end, and I look at her and I go, reminds you of prom, huh? Pretty funny. You guys think it's funny. And she looked at me and she goes, no. And then just left. And I went home and I told my girlfriend, I go, can you believe that this motherfucker didn't think that was funny? And she goes, can I believe that you sexually harassed a woman at her job? And she didn't think it was funny? I go, what are you, HR of the house? Shut the fuck up. I go, maybe take some mushrooms, you know? I do. I love my girlfriend. I like it. DC is cool. This has been fun. I like going back. I was trying to figure out what joke I was going to close with, and I think I'll do maybe this one, and if it doesn't work, well, that's just it, because what are you going to do? I like going back to Indiana, seeing my family and stuff, driving around, and I was driving around recently when I was back in Indianapolis, and it reminded me of this thing. Sometimes, I don't know if you guys have ever been in a situation where you've heard something and it's stuck with you your entire life. Like I have 3 things that I've heard that have stuck with me my entire life. One, I was on the Red Line in Chicago, and this dude was talking to his friend, and he goes, hey man, why do they call you Lysol? And his other buddy goes, you don't know why they call him Lysol? He fucked that bitch Trina with AIDS, and he didn't get it. He's clean like Lysol. That happened 15 years ago. I think about that all the time. I'm like, how is Lysol doing? How is Trina doing? I go, I hope she's doing well, you know? But this happened in Indianapolis. I was driving around with my brother's drug dealer, Ham. Me and Ham would drive around. We would have a nice time, Ham and I, in my car, driving around, building a friendship, I thought. But we were dealing drugs out of my car, right? I thought I was an accessory to friendship. I was an accessory to drug dealing. One day I pulled up to a stoplight, and there was a very beautiful lady. I'm 19 years old, by the way, and there's a very beautiful lady on the corner. And Ham rolls down the window, and he looks at her, and he goes, damn, bitch, that ass looking fat as hell. Why don't you get over here and give me your number? And then she did it. She did it. It was the coolest thing I'd ever seen in my life. I was like, that's incredible. Then he gets her number, and he turns to me, and he goes, you know, I fuck more bitches than I kiss. And I was like, whoa, that's the coolest thing I've ever heard in my life. In a matter of 30 seconds, I both saw and heard the 2 coolest things I've ever seen and heard. And I think about that all the time. I was doing my dishes the other night, and I was like, I fuck more bitches than I kiss. I was like, damn. And then I was like, I fucking suck. I'm always kissing. I kiss all the time. I'm a little smooch boy. I'm a little smooch boy out here smooching. Sometimes at my house, I go, round of kisses for the family. And then I go kiss my cat, and then I kiss my girlfriend. We haven't fucked in months. We kiss all the time. Cam went to prison. He went to prison for Grand Theft Auto, and I was like, fuck, I wasn't there to drive him. My man had to steal a car, and I felt bad, and I felt really bad. And I was like, damn, that really sucks for him. But then I did some mental gymnastics to make myself feel better about it. And I was like, well, what better place for a guy who loves to fuck without kissing, you know? Oh, that's interesting. It's an interesting reaction to a perfect joke. Absolutely flawless joke. All right, well then I guess I gotta do this one and then I gotta go. You guys fucked up. That is on you guys. Here's the thing, that joke works 30% of the time. But when it works, it's because the audience is cool. No, you guys are a good audience. You're gonna love your headliner, Tom. Oh, I'll tell you this. If you want, after the show, if you want, you don't have to. I'm just happy that everyone came out to the show. I'm selling koozies that say this drink ain't gonna suck itself. So, if you want a koozie, I mean, the drink kind of looks like a dick. It's funny stuff. So, it's pay whatever you want, $5, $10, $100. Whatever you guys want to pay, it's cool. But I'm straight. I think we can all tell. I think we can all tell I'm a straight guy. Tom specifically asked me to do this joke. I'm so straight that every time I bang dudes, my dick throws up. And I don't know if... Well, that's it. You guys banged it. Thank you all very much.